we can't brush off the Raheem Sterling performance. It was a massive opportunity for him. He's not taken them so far. He certainly didn't take his opportunity against Leicester. Sort of, you think I was watching Sterling, and it could go one of two ways. He either doesn't take his man on, just passes back, or tries to take his man on and then just gets tackled straight away. So it's quite sad to see the decline, really, just in the space of 2 years. I mean, has he or should he have had his last chance from the first whistle, do you think?
I don't think he can have had his last chance just because of the situation Arsenal are in. I think they do still need him. It was like I think you're right. The way you described it, saying it was sad to watch. It's exactly how I felt watching it. It did, this is a player who we've all seen, do great things in his career, amazing things, win so many trophies, score so many goals for Liverpool, for City. Um, but the decline at the moment, it just looks irreversible. I'm watching a player here who, in his head, he knows what he wants to do, but he just can't do it. And that second half, like you were saying, when he was squaring up the fullback and he was trying to take him on, but there was no tricks, there was no step overs, there was no drop of the shoulders. It was just he didn't know how to do it, or that's how it felt. And the defender just stuck his foot out, took it off him every single time, and it was really tough because it was right in front of me where we were sitting. I was on his wing in that second half, and um, yeah, it was a really tough watch, and you could see when he came off. I think he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. He knows he's really, really struggling. He probably went into this game knowing it was a really big opportunity for him. The first half, he got himself caught offside a couple of times when you just don't need to be in that situation. It was just really, really careless, and it was stopping a promising looking an attack. And it kind of felt like he was more of a hindrance than anything else for Arsenal on Saturday in everything that he was trying to do. And that's not good. Basically, it's really, really not good. So, like I said at the start, it's going to be interesting how Arteta approaches this because he is going to need Raheem Sterling. He's got to try and get something out of him over these next few weeks. If you drop him after that Leicester game, is that the kind of the final nail in his coffin, confidence wise, potentially? So you've got to balance that up as well. Um, but I didn't get the sense from the fans that there's this massive sort of annoyance with Raheem Sterling, which sometimes happens, when players are performing, especially players who've got the sort of Chelsea links when they've come from Arsenal. Willian, for example, there was very different feeling towards Willian when, I mean, I watched Willian at times and it genuinely felt like he wasn't trying at times. I remember one game at Everton away that it was just one of the worst 45 minutes I've ever seen from a player when he was at Arsenal. And that just clearly didn't fit. The fans never took to him at all. And I don't get that sense with Raheem. I feel like what you said and what I said is what the sense is with Arsenal fans. There's just this kind of sadness of a once great player who is trying. He's trying to do everything that he did well, but he just can't do it. Either his brain's not working, connecting to his legs well enough, the confidence, everything's swirling around in his head so quickly because he's just got zero confidence as a player anymore that he can't do what he's wanting to do. And so yeah, it's a really tough one for Mikel, but it was a it was a bad day for Raheem Sterling, a really tough watch. And how he bounces back from that, I don't really know. I hope he does, because as I said, even if it's just one goal or one assist, that could prove crucial for Arsenal over the next few weeks. They do need him, but he's got to improve massively and very, very quickly. And to be fair, actually, just quickly before we move on, there has been some performances of Sterling, albeit mainly against lower league oppositions, at times where he has looked threatening at times. I think back to the Preston game away when he didn't score, but he had a decent game in that game in the Carabao Cup, caused him lots of problems, was running at players, beating them. The Bolton game when he scored and he got an assist in that game as well in that cup competition, he was looking good. It's just recently, it seems like the little confidence that he did have has just drained away even more, and now we're seeing a real sort of shell of a player. And yeah, it is pretty sad to watch.
Yeah, I think as well the I know Arsenal lost to Man U in the FA
Yeah.
Cup, but I think when he came off the bench in that game, he was also very bright, very sprightly, but just hasn't continued it. I mean, there is still, he is an experienced player. He's won lots of trophies, as you said. So he's one of the few players in the Arsenal squad who are 30 or older. And when you've got players like Nwaneri, Lewis Skelly, all these young players coming up, could he still have maybe not hopefully on the pitch for Arsenal fans, but off the pitch, could he still have a massive part to play between now and the end of the season?
Yeah, like you said, he's one of the few experienced players who have been in this situation who have won trophies. So he can be a good sort of role model off the pitch. And you're right to point out Ranieri. Is a what better player to speak to about stuff he's going through right now than Raheem Sterling, who came through at a similar age and was thrust into the spotlight like Ranieri was. So yeah, he can be an influence off the pitch, which would be good. But in the position Arsenal are in with the lack of attackers, they need their attackers to be influential on the pitch as well, and that is the big hope. So, if he could just if he starts on Saturday, just find his way to score a goal, everyone just bounces off him, or he gets a slice of luck where a ball drops to him in the penalty area and he can just put it away. I'd be really interested to see if we then see a different Raheem Sterling. We've seen it with footballers. I mean, think back to Gabriel Jesus not so long ago before he got injured. He couldn't do a thing. He couldn't finish a chance. Then suddenly, bang, scores one goal against Crystal Palace in the Cup. Within 20 minutes, he'd scored a hat trick. Then he goes and scores a couple in the Premier League as well in quick succession after that. A player who had basically given up on of being any sort of threat in an attacker suddenly scores 6 goals in the space of 4 games. So it can happen. Confidence is a stupid thing, even at the very elite level of the game. And so, if something could happen to him, he just gets a little bit of luck where a ball falls to him. Suddenly, hopefully, we could see a little bit of a Raheem Sterling. That'll be Mikel Arteta's hope, certainly. And as fans, I think it's got to be all of our hopes because they do need him.